Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here and joining me in today's lesson. And today we are going to learn the modern verb in English. So let's start. I hope you are feeling well and motivated, and let's start our today's lesson. So basically, what is a modern verb? Okay, because I think most non-native English speaker, modern verb is confusion point because you don't know when to use might or must or could or should. So it's confusing point, by the way. It's not easy to memorize it. So anyway, the modern verb in English is can, could, may, might, must, need to, shall and will, should, and so on. So we are using the modal verb to express things like ability, permission, possibility, and obligation. So modal verbs only have one form. They don't take s in the simple present, okay? We can't add s to the verb. And I'm gonna show you some examples related to that. And they don't have a past simple or past participle form. However, some modal verb, maybe you can use the form that allow to express the same idea in different tenses, right? So what I mean about that? Let's discover some examples here, and here you can see in my screen all the modal verb I have. So we use them. Okay, we use a modal verb to believe something in a certain or possible or impossible way. We also use them to do things like talk about ability, ask permission, make requests, and offer, and so on. I already mentioned that at the beginning. So, as you can see here, we can use these modal verb or called modal detection or speculation. Right, we have different things here, and each of these words meaning something, okay, or certainty. When we want to make a guess about something, we choose the verb depending on how sure we are, right? So let's talk about the present now. So for example, if I want to talk about something in the present, there are a few points you need to consider when using modal verb. The modal verb are generally only used in the present tense in English, but we don't add s, as I told you, in the third verb in singular. So for example, I can say he musts to do what he told to do. We say he must do without s. So we don't add s in the main verb. Also, the modal verb in English grammar are can, could, might, and you already know it. I know most of you already know these modal verb and how they can use them. So any verb comes after the modal verb, it must be in the infinitive form. You can add ing, okay? So in the infinitive form only, the base form. So let's now talk about when we use must or when we use can and shall and should. So must, we must use must to express a very high probability thing. We use it to talk about something we are almost certain about it. For example, as you can see here, she must be at work. That's why she isn't answering her phone. So, how I make sure she is at her work at this precise moment? The next sentence add more information that she's not answering her phone because she's at work right now. She must be at work. And let's move to can. Can't. We use can't to express a very low probability and impossibility in fact. We use it to talk about something we are almost certain in is impossible. She can't be at work. Isn't Saturday? She can't is basically, let me tell you something. A foreign teacher teach me this thing. Must, you can't say mustn't in the negative form. So we use can't. This is a negative form of must. Can't. So can't or cannot is equal must, but can't in the negative form. Now we are going to move to the next things here we have, which is can and could and might. So let me tell you a situation here. We are waiting for your friend Emma, and her sister calls you. Okay, her sister calls you right now and says, "Hey, it's late. Where is Emma?" You are not sure and guess by saying, "I'm not sure, where is she now?" And maybe you are going to use one of these 5 sentences we have right here. So I told you the situation. Which sentence of these you might use? So are you all going to say she might be stuck in traffic? Maybe. Or you might say she may be stuck in traffic. She may and might. Notice here the difference. Or she must be stuck in the traffic. This is fairly certain. This is for sure. Or she could be stuck in traffic. And this is said as maybe because we use here could. Or for the impossible form, she can't be stuck in traffic. So watch these sentence we have, the 5 sentence we have. And what do you think about that? What do you think about this idea right here now? Is it fair enough for you to use all of these the same, or you think no, it might this the first one or the second one because I'm not sure? This is the situation, and this is a whole sentence that you might use as an answer. So can and could, we all know it's for ability. We can use it for the ability about something. Okay, so for example, Max can already change the tire. We can use the alternative form to be able to in all sentence. Okay, so can and could, you can use it in the present, past, and the perfect, and the future also. For example, in 2 years time, Max will be able to do everything in the garage. So go here right now and think about it. What do you think about these examples I'm telling you right now? So we can also use the modal verb with will and should in the infinitive form. I told you can and could for the ability, and now we are seeing the will and should. So we all know that will, the negative form is won't. This is the negative form for will. So basically, we use will in 2 forms, for future planning and for maybe impossible things you are going to do in the future. So as you can see here, we have 2 examples. We have she will be at work now, or she won't be at work now. Okay, so will is for the future, and all non-native speakers know that. But should, we use should to give advice, make suggestions about something, or say what is good idea or not. So for example, the negative form, before I start saying examples here, let's say the negative form shouldn't, and we use it to make an assumption about what is probably true or not, if everything is as we expected. Or I have another note here, you can use should as an advice, and this is gonna be more easy for you to not confuse you more about assumption, probability, and so on. So as you can see here, I have an example. She should be here by now. she shouldn't take a long to arrive. So I have a note for you here. We use should in this way just for positive events or negative events. We use will. So I hope you have a good idea about will and should. Also, you can make suggestions by using should. Okay, so maybe, for example, you say you shouldn't have played computer games all day. So in this sentence, we are advise someone to not playing computer games all the time. This is for advice. Now we have can and could, and I already told you for permissions and so on. And by the way, there is another point I want to mention for you guys here. You know that I loved sharing information, especially in the English grammar. Must and need not and should. We use it for obligations. So you are going to say me, what are you saying here? All right, I'm going to tell you. We must use, okay, should or must for the important thing, the necessary thing. Okay, so we use must for the necessary thing, and we use should to give order or advice in a strong way. So for example, you have a child and your daughter did something you don't like. So you are going to advise here in a strong way. You are going to use should in a very strong way to give her order to stop what you are doing now, because she's playing and she left her study. All right. So I hope I defined this point for you. Now we have a nice situation here. Okay, we are talking to your friends. Okay, and then she's typing to decide the best way to arrive to the city. Okay, and she's trying to say something related to the transportation. See, she or we are trying to figure out what is the best transportation to arrive to our destination. So taking the train should be easier as we can avoid the traffic. And at 5 p.m. the roads will be packed, so it's better to take the train. What do you think in this suggestion here? I think this is gonna be nice if we are working as a group and we're trying to create a role play here. Anyway, we can use the modal verb like can. We can, it's a modal verb in the present to express possibility. So can, we use it, can, the modal verb, to talk about something that in generally possible for us to do. For example, maybe for objects, the weather can be quite hot in this summer. We don't use can to talk about specific possibility. In this case, we use could. He could be at work, right? Or, for example, I have here another situation for you. I tried call her many times, but she didn't answer. So I think she may still be in the office. She should pick up as soon as she leaves. Generally, once her shift is over, she can turn her phone back on, and I don't think she will. Let me zoom in for myself to be able to read. I'm going to continue. So I don't think she will drive home straight away as there is a lot of traffic. So she might stop at a bar for a drink with her workmates. We could catch with her later. So this is a very, very nice example for you, show you how you can use all the modal verb while you're doing your daily exercises, your daily routine, your regular day. So this is how you can use the modal verb. So I have here for you this exercise. I hope that you can create more of 5 sentences about your daily routine using the modal verb. And another one here, more exercises for you. Now let's talking about the past. As I mentioned at the first of this video that you can't use modal verb in the past, but there is some certain modal verb you can use it at the past. So we can use these modal verbs of probability in the past by using them with have and the past participle. What I mean about that, you put the modal verb plus have plus the past participle. It's look like the same structure of the past present perfect, but you add must here, or might, or could. This is what I mean about that for these examples right here on the screen, this slide. Must and have plus the past participle, or might not have the past participle. This is a structure of how you can use the modal verb in the past simple. And I hope to not forget it because this is so important. So I have to clarify first and explain for you first, elaborate the idea of the modal verb at the first in the present, and then we have in the past you have to add the modal verb and plus have plus the past participle. I have examples here. She must have left her phone at work. This is mean at the past moment she forget her phone at the work. This is what it means. Let's read the second example here. She might have forgotten about our meeting. She, the subject, and might, the modal verb, have its auxiliary verb. We added the structure in the past and forgetting the past participle. Okay, she couldn't have made mistake. She couldn't have made a mistake. They may have missed the train. She can't have left the window open. So I hope you like that. And let me tell you when to use the modal verb in the past. So when we talk about ability, we mean two things. The first, we mean general ability. And I told you about whether, object, or wherever. And that once you have learned it, you can do any time you want, like being able to read or swim or speak a language. And the second one, other kind of ability, is specific ability. And this means something that you can or can't do on a practical situation. For example, being able to lift something heavy or find somewhere you are looking for. So I hope you like this. And I already said about can and can't for specific ability. I think we talk in the most of these. This is about the past, the future. Of course, the modal verb in the future you use well. And some exercises here. I think you're gonna like this so much to have it. I'm gonna leave it down. I think the modal verb is very easy. You just need to practice a lot about how you can use it, and everything is gonna be okay. I hope you like this episode, and I hope to see you next time.